Hot diggity God, hot diggity
You may be
dog.
new here. This is all the crux right here. This is all of Unity. So together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good. Amen.
Good morning to everyone that's here in our sanctuary and all of you that are at home watching our live streaming. We're so glad you are also with us. If you're here for the first time, or you've only been coming a short time and you do have some questions about Unity, what we believe, and what activities go on here, Stella is our ambassador today, and she has a packet of information. There's a form on it, and if you don't go by her, there's a form in the back of the seats that if you would fill out so that you can get on our newsletter list. Please check in on Facebook. Tell everyone you're here, and then if you would please turn your phone off. We've all been there, and it's quite embarrassing when you're the one that we're deep in meditation, and there goes your phone. It's happened to all of us. Today's beautiful flowers are shared with us by Karen Crago in celebration of her and Mike's anniversary. Those big white lilies just make that. Isn't it beautiful? And you all may have noticed that I have trouble getting up here by myself sometimes and getting down. I don't want to fall going down the stairs either. And so does Marlene and many of us. And Steve Kittle, bless your heart, he put up a rod, a rail for us to hold on to. Yay! That's where I'm going. I'm glad I'm up here in heaven then. Mitch was saying it's the railway to heaven. And please join me in our mission statement. The words are up on the screen together. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. And let's speak together the affirmation for today's daily word. It's on the screen. Living authentically is one of my greatest freedoms. I am free to be me. I honor who I am, a divine being with abundant spiritual gifts that express through me uniquely. There may have been times I thought I needed to be more like other people and not stand out. I may have sought to conform to tamp down my individuality, but it didn't work. But doing this robs me of my freedom to be fully who I am. Today I reclaim my spiritual freedom by allowing myself to live authentically. I need not hide myself or pretend to be something I'm not. The key to living my freedom is being aware of my true nature as a divine being. The love in my heart, the ideas that fill my mind are all divinely inspired. How I express these gifts is my individuality made manifest in the fullest expression of my freedom. Please join me in this scripture. It's John 8:32. And you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Let's repeat the affirmation again, please. Living authentically is one of my greatest freedoms. As I ring the prayer bowl, please hold the following people in prayer for their highest good. Kelly, Jim, G, Steve, Stella, Carolyn, Lee, Peggy, Beth, Ron, Robert, Catherine, Dan, Jeannie Ann, Brittany, Zach, Trenton, Kathy, Sue Ann, Colin, and anyone that you would like to include in our prayer today. Let us sing our thoughts or prayers. The words are on the screen.
We are always praying, thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying, seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there, and every thought becomes a prayer.
As the sounds and the vibrations coming from our prayer bowl fill the sanctuary, invite them to be absorbed in your bodies, your minds, and your spirits. Visualizing your oneness with Spirit, take a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Send and receive hope, peace, love, and joy to all the people around you and encompassing every person on this earth. Center yourself as we begin to relax our minds and bodies, preparing for prayer and meditation. Beginning at the crown of your head, release tension in your mind and body. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Follow your focus to your forehead, eyes, ears, lips, tongue, and jaw. Breathe. Follow your attention to your neck and shoulders, down through your arms, wrists, and fingers, intentionally relaxing as you go. Move down through your spine and lower back, your thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and toes. Remind yourself to relax and let go. We affirm the highest and best manifest for the names on the prayer list for healing, prosperity, guidance, safety, peace of mind, divine order, and for new beginnings. We embody these prayers for ourselves, our families, and our friends to all. We celebrate this or something better as our birthright. We support diversity, equity, and inclusion for all. We support peace and harmony in all countries. We visualize food, health care, and shelter for those in need here and around the world. We visualize basic needs met, inner peace, safety, and happiness for all. Where there is war, we send peace. For differences expressed in the United States of America, we choose to emit love and only love. We remain calm and peaceful, leading to justice, fairness, and security in our country. We choose forgiveness to clear any blocks to our well-being, our minds, or to our flow of love and prosperity. We forgive ourselves for regrets for actions we may have formerly taken. We choose to contribute from a loving consciousness and a loving heart to a consciousness of oneness. God is our inexhaustible source. From all directions, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us. By our consciousness, we attract divine ideas of ways to further support our lives and our church. We attract people who have been searching for the truth that will change their lives as Unity has changed ours. We are grateful for the divine unfolding of God's good, actively working in and through those for whom we pray. We are free to be authentically who we are. We honor who we are, divine beings with abundant spiritual gifts that express through us uniquely. Ask yourself, where might I use my unique gifts and talents for good in the silence? As our band members are coming back up to the platform, I'm delighted to welcome again Jerry Stefaniak as our guest speaker today. Jerry is a teacher, speaker, counselor, and author dedicated to helping adults build self-esteem, discover their life vision, and achieve both outer success and inner peace. With over 40 years of experience in the computer industry and an MBA from DePaul University, he blends professional achievement with deep spiritual practice. For 20 plus years, he led countless workshops and classes that have inspired and uplifted many. We are grateful that he and Patty found us, and we look forward to his talk right after the special music. Jerry has written 2 books, and he has placed those 2 books in our lending library. So feel free to take them home and read them.
Would the real you, thank you. Would the real you please stand up? I figure, since we're in Unity Church, we talk about authenticity, I thought this talk would be a slam dunk. Knock it out in no time. Ha! People have been asking this question since Socrates, Kierkegaard, Jung. Who are we? Who's the real you? And I got stuck. But we'll see what we can do with this talk. So, this bishop is visiting a little Sunday school Bible class. And he decides to throw a riddle at the kids. And he says, I'm thinking of something that's in a tree. A branch? No. A leaf? No. It lives in the tree. A bird? No. It's furry. Raccoon? No. It runs from branch to branch. There's no answer. It could be gray, it could be brown. No answer. Don't they have any idea what's going on? He goes, it eats nuts and sometimes buries them. No answer. Doesn't anyone in this room have any idea what I'm talking about? And one little boy raises his hand and I said, look, I know the correct answer is either God or Jesus, but it sure sounds like a squirrel to me. So how many of us have been there with those little kids? There's a question being asked. We may have an idea. We may have not had an idea, but we're afraid to raise our hand. For many of us, the last time we were real was when we were probably 2 or 3 years old. For many of us, we heard the word no so often that we stopped asking for what we wanted. And me included, for many years of my life, I did not know what I wanted. Because I didn't even ask. Everyone take a breath here. I feel like I'm the captain of the Titanic. The ship's going down. Relax. That's the way the world is. That's the way the world is. I mean, we got to have rules. We got rules in here. You don't bring your breakfast in here. We have rules. Some people, oh, cool, you brought your coffee. Good person. But how many of us were taught, through action or inaction? My friend Cynthia remembers hearing when she was a kid, don't be smarter than the boys. Anyone know that one? Yeah. Don't talk to me in that tone, Missy. Everyone take a breath here. This is just the way it is. Our egos, a lot of times, are running the show. And so no matter what we do, it's wrong. You fail, you did it wrong. You succeed, maybe you feel guilty because you're doing better than somebody else. I mean, just check in. I mean, I know sometimes I feel guilty because my life is so easy. And there are so many people, and there's a part of me that wants to shut down, that's afraid to express my liveliness, the Christ, the God that's within us. What if we showed our true colors? Oh my God, what if he tells the truth? I mean, and there's nothing wrong. I want to say right now, I don't want any of you feeling guilty because maybe you didn't express yourself. Don't do that. That's just what we've all done. We've learned from thousands and thousands of years. And there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe we'll go to therapy. You do years of work to looking at why do I am the way I am, because my daddy, because my mom, whatever. Werner Erhard had a saying, understanding is the booby prize in life. Yeah, now I understand why I suppress my aliveness, because of this and this and this and this. Well, what are you going to do about it? You got the booby prize. Now, what are you going to do? Every time I've expressed my aliveness, I've come out, I was scared. Every time. Like the first time it ever happened. Everyone take a breath here, please. So what dims our authenticity? Guilt, fear, that's all. That's all. And once again, there are many things that we don't have to do, but there are pieces of our lives that we know we have to tell the truth someday. Or else we live lives like twisted cripples. Look okay on the outside, but inside. So I'm going to use one of my favorite show and tell items. Me. Start small. Years and years ago, after I had wrecked a marriage and was in another relationship that was slowly dying, I joined a program called the 6-month program, which was an intensive 6 months of breathing and emoting and sharing. And at that time, I had one feeling. How you doing, Jerry? I'm fine. My friend Phil Smith used to say, fine is a word you use, is a feeling you use when you don't want anyone to know what you're feeling. But I didn't know what I was feeling. And slowly I was unraveling my demons. We were doing breath work. And I remember one time I was at work programming, and I had taken my cat in to have her neutered. And the vet called, and he said, well, she's ready. You can pick her up this afternoon. And luckily, we caught her in time. I go, what do you mean? Well, she had 6 little ones. I'm sitting at my desk, and the knife goes through my heart. And then I can't breathe. I'm going, what? And they close the door to the office, and I just start remembering breathing, so I just, and I end up sobbing and sobbing and sobbing and holding my head in my hands in the desk as I just weep over 6 little kitties. This guy who was just fine, sobbing. And what we learned in this class was to call the other classmates for help. So I dialed one of my classmates and I said, I'm crazy. And I told her what's going on. And she goes, oh my God, that's wonderful. You're feeling. You're alive. And she said, is there a 7-Eleven nearby? And I go, yeah. And she goes, when we get off the phone, go out there and buy a rose or a card or something for you to prove that you are lovable in this midst. And I went out after I talked with her, went to 7-Eleven, bought a card. I wrote in the card, Jerry, I love you. I signed it, God. And I put it on my desk. And for days, I would look at that card and I would cry whenever I saw it. It just reminded me, somebody loved me. So the purpose of this talk, what I'm going to say is the real you is when you become alive. And what I did, excuse me, was after I bought that card, I made a list of things to remind myself of how to love me. And I posted it on the refrigerator because I knew that when I was crazy, when I was in my ego, I could not think of a single thing to do to love myself. But I could walk to the refrigerator and go, take a bubble bath. Ask for a hug. Can you tell me 3 things you love about me? Whatever. Because I had no idea, but when I was in my ego, I could look at that, buy myself a hot foot sundae. Do you hear what I'm saying here? Our egos want us to believe that we are little. And what we are just gently showing it is, no, I may be nuts. I may be crazy. I may have done something really stupid. But I think I'm going to play a video game. You know, watch a movie that has no social redeeming value. You know? I remember once I came back from a hard eight-hour day of lessons teaching. I was teaching, and I came home and I thought, I was at Blockbuster thinking I should get a couple of movies, and I was thinking, you should get something like The Sound of Music, Schindler's List, something that's good. And I remember checking in my heart, and I got two movies, The Terminator and Dirty Dancing. It was perfect. Terminator was like, because I had a hard day, and then Dirty Dancing was just, it was fun. This is what life is about, kids. It's hard, and it's crazy, and it's happy, and it's sad. The Course in Miracles teaches us that we are guiltless. Jesus says in the Course in Miracles, I love this. If you want to be like me, I will help you, knowing that we are alike. If you want to be different, I will wait until you change your mind. I love that. Jesus is just saying, look, I know where you want to be. I know who you are. And if you don't want to be like me, okay. I got eternity. So do you. Sooner or later, we'll meet. I love that. No hassle, no stress. So in this process, the first step, like I said, is learning about those kiddies that had feelings, and they open up more and more and more over the year and a half that I took classes together with these people. The art of self-love. Not hedonism, just loving yourself when you're crazy. And proving to your crazy self there's a part of me that remembers. And there was a part in the program. Joe Heaney was my teacher. And I'd been with him for about a year now, learning from the 6-month program and then something else, and I was doing another training with him. And one day he said, Jerry, I've known you for over a year, and you're no worse than all of us. You're no bad. You've done bad stuff. You've done stupid stuff, but nothing worse than we've done. And yet you're sitting on your aliveness. You're sitting on your passion. You know, what is it? And I went, I have no idea. You know, who's the real self? And about that time, our community decided to do a country western dance. Bale said, hey, we're going to have country western dance. We're going to teach all that stuff dressed up like cowboys. And I hate country western dance. Back then I did. Love it now. And it's like, oh, God. I didn't have a lot of money, and I resented having to buy some country western outfit that I didn't even want to pay money on. And I was sitting at work, just thinking, and the Holy Spirit always shows up at the weirdest time. I was sitting at work and suddenly heard the opening notes from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Da-la-la, wah, wah, wah. Da-la-la, wah, wah, wah. And I went, oh my God, country western. They didn't say which country or which western. And so I went to a costume shop, bought the long black slicker, kind of a ruffled shirt, holsters, guns, and the flat hat. I walked into that dance, my heart pounding. And Joe was sitting there with his wife, and Joe sees me, and he goes, "That's you! That's you! The villain, the scoundrel, that's what you've been sitting on." And I was like, oh. And I felt so alive. That night I danced every dance. I had such a blast. And for the longest time afterwards on Halloween, I would dress up like a Chicago mobster. There's something about it. It doesn't speak to me now. But then it was something I would put a scar or wear a hat, wear a silk tie. Hey, mogul. Whatever. It just felt neat. Slowly, step by step, we show ourselves who we are. And you know what? We're going to make mistakes as we're learning. Patty and I had a fight a couple of weeks ago, and I just shut down. I was so angry. And I told her, it may be a couple of days before I figure out what's going on. And after a couple of days, I figured I was mad at me, not her. But it took me a while. If you're learning to learn about yourself, check in. You all know there's a part of you that goes, I don't agree with that. It doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. But go within and meditate. What is that nugget? Where does that come from? And then learn. I had to learn over years how to express my anger appropriately. How to express it defenselessly. To say, I'm angry, it's not about you, it's about me, but I need to share that what you said to me hurt my feelings. Do you hear what I'm saying here? Does this make sense? Years and years and years later, I got married again, and ended up inheriting 2 stepdaughters and getting some grandkids. And got some grandkids. And one morning we were visiting them, and I was sitting in the bedroom and I was meditating. Eyes closed and just meditating. And you know how even with your eyes closed you could sense somebody's in the room? And I'm sitting there and I open my eyes and little 3-year-old Annalise standing there looking at me with her thumb in her mouth, just looking at me. "Oh, sweetie." And she goes, "What you doing, Papu?" I go, "Oh, I'm meditating." "Would you like to try?" She goes, "Yeah." So I put her on my lap. I said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're going to close our eyes and just think of something that makes you very happy. And then we'll open our eyes." So we did that. We closed our eyes. And after a minute or two, we opened our eyes. And I said, "So, were you thinking of something that made you very happy?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "What was that?" She said, "You." "Yeah." That's our true colors. That's our true colors. Life, in my opinion, is so full of love. And all we need to do slowly is take a tiny step. Play a video game. Watch a movie. Read a book. Sit in nature just because when you're crazy. Slowly get yourself back. So if you're willing, I want to close with something from A Course in Miracles. So if you're willing, just close your eyes and just listen to the words. This is Jesus speaking. Listen. Perhaps you catch a hint of an ancient state, not quite forgotten, dim perhaps, and yet not altogether unfamiliar, like a song whose name is long forgotten, and the circumstances in which you heard completely unremembered. Not the whole song has stayed with you, but just a little wisp of melody, attached not to a person or a place or anything in particular. But you remember from just this little part how lovely was the song, how wonderful the setting where you heard it, and how you loved those who were there and listened with you. The notes are nothing, yet you have kept them with you, not for themselves, but as a soft reminder of what would make you weep if you remembered how dear it was to you. You could remember, yet you are afraid, believing that you would lose the world you learned since then. And yet, you know that nothing in this world you learned is half so dear as this. Listen and see if you remember an ancient song, a song you knew so long ago and held more dear than any melody you taught yourself since. And let yourself come back. We all have a song. We all have a truth. Love yourselves. As you hear from me, if you hear me talk on and on, you'll always hear the same thing, which was my biggest lesson. Love yourself right where you are, right now. Bless you all. Namaste.
All right, time for the announcements. I would like to start off the announcements with the correction. It was actually Baylor that called that the Railway to Heaven. That was not me.
Yeah.
Just want to get that out of the way. I did call it the Steve Kittleman official Railway to Heaven, but that was not, it's not official at all. It's not official. There's a plaque that needs to be involved. Yes. And moving on. So if you would join us this evening, I'd like to thank you all for coming to this Railway to Heaven. This goes in the underground, next to the Highway to Hell, 2 different paths. If you would please join us this evening and every Sunday at 6 p.m. for a peaceful meditation group session. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just starting out, all are welcome. And I was talking to John about this. John, this is your baby to a certain extent. You guys have a good turnout. You come in, you sit down, you talk a little bit, then meditate for a half of an hour.
We do nothing
You do?
for 30 minutes, and it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We do a group meditation. We do a short little intro to get us ready to go into the silence, and then we sit in the silence for 30 minutes. And then afterwards, we can talk about our experience during the meditation or not talk about it.
Just be quiet. Just be nice and-
Yeah,
Nice. Awesome.
it's awesome. Yeah,
It
it's
feels
great.
good. Awesome. So that is tonight and every Sunday night at 6 p.m. And the next Prosperity and Growth Team meeting is tomorrow. That is August 18th at 6 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. Your ideas and insights are welcome, and they are vital. Susan, do you have it up there? Well, just what's written. Use the rail.
You notice I took my shoes off already. Map Makers is coming up, and we meet Thursdays at 10:30, and we make sleeping mats for the homeless for you new folks. We make 100 mats in 100 days, or at least we try. And so we're done by Thanksgiving, I think. Anyway. There's lots of ways you can help. Bring in your plastic bags for one thing, especially your colored bags. We love them, but we'll take all bags at this point. And you can lots of different ways you can help. You can help make the Plarn stuff that we put them together with. You can help do anything. And if you just come for 1 minute, we'll teach you how to do some of that stuff, and then you don't have to come. You can just drop the stuff off. And then it's great. Anyway, starting this Thursday, it'll be every Thursday at 10:30, and I hope we see you there. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan. The Unity Drum Circle is the first and third Thursdays each month. Please join us this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. No experience is necessary. You can bring a drum if you have one. If not, we have extras you can use, or you can always, take 2 sticks and slap them together. Yeah. We got a lot of options.
We have sticks.
We have sticks.
We have sticks you can.
Oh, that's right. We have the claves. That's
we
nice.
got
Claves. That's what they're called. Our celebration service next Sunday, we are excited to welcome Ms. Marlene Bricker back to our platform. Marlene is great. She is a spiritual brick house, they say. Marlene brings a wealth of speaking and teaching experience, having served as an elementary school teacher, an author, a business owner, and a spiritual director of a Unity Church. She holds a Master of Education in Guidance and Counseling, as well as a doctorate in metaphysics. So we're very excited to have Marlene back in. And next Sunday, also in the New Thought and World Religion Adult Education class, join Amy Burnett for part 2 of her class, Power Up. That class begins at 9:15 a.m., and you can join in person, or you can tune in to the live stream on our Facebook page. And our next Community Through Music outdoor concert is Saturday, August the 30th at 7 p.m. This month's performers are Lane Wagner, Patrick Morathi, and Karina Jane. Please bring a chair and a friend and come enjoy these amazing local artists. There will be hot dogs, chips, and soda available to purchase. I'm assuming warm hot dogs and cold sodas.
Yeah,
And
Steve's in charge of that.
Steve,
yeah,
ice
I
those
think that's
sodas
the way
down.
he's
All right,
doing it.
looking at you then, Steve. Warm hot
Hot
dogs
dogs are warm,
this time.
sodas are cold.
On the grill. Oh,
Yeah.
chips are crispy. Thank you. Do you make those? Do you grill those? They're out of the bag, I'm assuming. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We are accepting donations for our next yard sale, which is scheduled for September the 12th and 13th. The only donations we can't accept are electronics and large furniture items. Bring your donations to the church during office hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. and on Sunday mornings. And our Friendship Sunday potluck is usually the first Sunday of each month, but because we will be setting up for the yard sale this first Sunday in September, we have moved the potluck to the Sunday before. So, last Sunday of August will be our first Friendship Sunday of September, which has now been moved out to August, but wait for the November, but we'll be catching it in. If that's not clear, that's not my fault. So anyway, August 31st is our Friendship Sunday instead of our first Sunday of September. So please bring a dish to share and join right after the service on August the 31st. We do need a few more volunteers to help with the cleanup. You can sign up at the connection table in the foyer. And Dee and Lisa have cleaned out the bookstore and sorted through all the books. Thank you so much for that. Dee blacked out all the swear words and Lisa wrote them back in even worse. So great job, you guys. Great job. There are shelves of the books just outside of the sanctuary doors, and you can take them home with you today. They are not priced, but a love offering is always accepted. As a weird corollary to that, we will be adding several new books to our lending library, which is inside the fellowship hall. If you haven't seen that, when you go through the fellowship hall, just to your left, there's a couple of cabinet doors. If you open, there is a lending library there. There isn't a checkout process, so just pick up a book to take with you and read it, enjoy it, and bring it back. And this afternoon at 2 p.m., there will be a celebration of life for Jan Gann, a former member of Unity of Springfield. All are welcome and all are invited to attend. And if you would please stand and join us for the prayer for protection. On your feet, y'all. Here we do it. Together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is